video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. This is the way.
Long before the wars, there was a man who walked among the stars. He knew the incredible power of the Force. He used it, he taught it, and died to preserve it for the good of all three worlds.
You're watching Star Wars Weekly Live Chat with The Force is with Jesse. The Force is with you, always.
Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well. Hope you've all had a fantastic week. Here to talk about part 4 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Awesome episode, great fun, and yeah, it's quite dark in here at the moment, so I am wearing all black. Brand new Kessel Run hoodie. I won't get it the wrong side. How sick is that? It's got the big Falcon logo on the back of the hoodie, so I'm pumped. It's keeping me warm. It looks good. I'm stoked. I'm glad. Very happy to be hanging out here Friday night. It's not the only recording I've done tonight, so I'm very, very excited that the Kessel Run Hair and Collectibles crew just recorded our first test podcast. So yeah, stay tuned to our social media over at Kessel Run Hair and Collectibles. I think, yeah, we're on Instagram and Facebook. And yeah, in the next few days over the weekend, I hope to have that up and running and a spot for it on the internet somewhere. So yeah, just want to give it a test run and get something out there. We've been wanting to do it for a while, so we finally did. We got 25 minutes. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what people say about that when it drops. Collecting Unleashed. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming and hanging out. My dear friend, Palpatine 1975. Hope you're going well too. Ed's here. Hey, mate. Hope you're doing well. Hoodie, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Jeff's in the house. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great week. Thank you for putting in your orders again. Last weekend, I think you put in a couple more orders with us at Kessel Run. Really appreciate the support. Really looking forward to some of those pre-orders coming in. Really looking forward to it. So bring on August. It'll be here before you know it. Toy Fair went really well, man. It was good. I was only there on the Sunday. But yeah, apparently it was a bit busier on the Saturday, but it was nice to see a lot of vendors that we haven't seen for a while. It was cool. Obviously, with states being able to open this year, it's cool to have folks coming in from interstate, setting up their stalls and just having a little bit more of a range of stuff to look at, which was really cool. I didn't spend a single cent. I was a good boy. I was a very good boy. I didn't spend a cent at the Toy Fair. I did have a guy gave me a free pack of Star Wars trading cards, which was cool. I cracked them open. And some of those widescreen cards from Topps back in '94, I think they were from. So that was cool. Got some cool cards out of that. And yeah, Chris, Adelaide Toy Collector, he hooked me up with some tapes, some cassette tapes, which I do need to remember to fix him up for them. I did forget when he came and saw me on Thursday night. So if you see this, Chris, I will fix you up, mate, in very due course. Speaking of Kessel Run here, Igor looks awesome. He does, man. He's so good. Marco did such a killer job on Igor. And yeah, the rifle came in today. He brought the gun in for Igor. He's looking fantastic. Really, really loving it. It's just, we've had Roger, a battle droid, sitting there at the front of the shop for so long now. It's weird coming into work and seeing a different droid standing there, but it's awesome. Like, people are getting his attention, and he's getting people's attention, should I say? And yeah, hopefully he'll have some lighting up in the coming weeks. That'll be cool. But yeah, no, it's looking awesome. He's getting lots of lots of praise and props. It just looks fantastic. I'll bring it up. I'll bring up a photo just so you can see it on the live. So there he is. His name is Igor. Had to give him a name with the IG because he's a bit of a mix of 88. He's a bit of a mix of IG-11. So yeah, we've given him his own designation. He looks so good. He's about 7 foot tall. So yeah, he's about an extra head on top of me. He's huge. So it's been so good. Oh man, it's all about being broke, not having money to spend. So I was kind of held back on my own leash there. Yeah, just not having any cash to sort of throw around at the moment. So it's yeah, it was a bit of a bummer because there were lots of I could have walked out with $500 plus easy worth of stuff. Some really good price figures there that I haven't seen locally for a while. So yeah, it was cool to see some interstate people come over with some really good stuff. So yeah, hopefully in October we've got another toy fair. There's another Adelaide Comic and Toy Fair, so I think we'll be looking forward to that one. Red Leader 1, what's going on? Oh no, he's trouble. T-Bone Capone. You click your heels and teleport to any Star Wars universe to live for the rest of your life. Which one and why? That's a really good question, man. Also, great to hear from you. I hope you're doing well, man. If I could click my heels, I'd have to learn how to click my heels first because I don't know how to do that. It's a really good question. I don't know. I really don't know. Say Endor with the Ewoks. No, because they'll probably just catch me and eat me. They like eating people. Let's say Scarif. This is just beaches. Beaches everywhere. Igor looks like he has a bit of Tin Man in his build. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah. I said that the same thing. If anyone asks, no one doesn't know who he is, we're telling him it's the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. Hey, Ian. It's amazing how well spending habits can be curtailed by being broke. I have a long experience. Oh, it's tough, man. It is rough. But yeah, on the up. Next one, hopefully, I can put a little bit of cash aside and treat myself to a couple of things. So that should be cool. Should be cool. But for now, yeah, not so much. Oh, down at Parasite Creek. Gave up on Ingham's, obviously. Glad you're down there, man. That's good. Hope Paris Creek's. I've heard good things. I've heard things have picked up a little bit down there since I was there, so which is nice because it's been like 6 years. Hey Tyler, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Don't teleport me to Tatooine. Too much sand. It's coarse. It's rough. It gets everywhere. I could do Tatooine, honestly. As long as I had a good supply of water, I could do what Obi-Wan Kenobi's done and live in a cave out in the middle of the desert and just not have to deal with people. That sounds all right to me. Literally go to work, cut some space whale up, chop some meat, and then just go home and hang out. No showers. Oh, who cares? Just stink it up in a cave in the middle of the desert. Doesn't sound terrible. The nights would be cold, days would be very hot, but it's all right. I can think of worse things. But yeah, we're talking about part 4 of the episode the other night. I think it was really good. I was really sort of stoked to sort of see some more pieces of the bigger puzzle together. It was a quicker episode. Definitely went quick. There's some good moments. Things that I'm picking up, like Leia getting mind probed by Reva, trying to pull that information. So that's a good it's a good little tidbit for when you get to A New Hope and Vader's saying, her resistance to the main probe was, considerable. So she's done it before. That's why. Again, her relationship with Ben strengthens. Like, he's definitely a strong parental figure. He's come and rescued her twice. He hasn't given up on her. There's a reason why she grows up and calls her son Ben. I said that last week, and it's getting even stronger now. Yeah, Ed's saying here, great character building. Exactly. Yeah, like a lot of people saying it just feels really small in terms of the scale and scope of the series. Like, it's all very much, really down in the trenches with Obi-Wan, and I think that's kind of the point. Like, really getting into sort of his psyche and where he's been for the last 10 years and how he's really sort of coming around to dealing with, Anakin surviving, Vader now terrorizing the universe with the Inquisitors. And, I'll be honest, the Inquisitors probably the only sort of down thing for me at the moment. Like, Reva's good. I like Reva. I like what's going on with her. Still a lot of mystery, still a lot to find out about her. But the other Inquisitors, they're just, especially the fifth brother, like, seems like he's literally just being like, sister, and that's pretty much been it. And yeah, it's kind of like they're sort of just police. Would have been cool to see, like, him pull out his lightsaber and maybe throw it at the airspeeders at the end there. Tatooine would be good because it's a bit like the Wild West. Do whatever you want, kill whoever you want, and so on. It's like the USA right now, basically. Jeff says, I'm liking that Obi-Wan's costume is getting progressively more Jedi as he starts to find himself again. Yeah, I feel like the costume, the outfit they gave him is very much just... Excuse me. Like, I wonder whether that was like the robes off a Jedi that they've smuggled out before, given them a change of clothes, gotten them out, and then they've just, given him some robes. And yeah, like you said, it's starting to sort of... he's starting to leave Ben behind and bring Obi-Wan out, but I think, he's going to keep the persona of Ben just to stay hidden until A New Hope. Like, he's still going to hang out for another 9 years and hang out and wait for the next message. I like that too. Like, it really starts with him digging up the lightsabers. Like, when him and Anakin parted ways at the end of Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan was left there, broken, and he took on the Ben persona out in the desert, buried his lightsabers, and, it goes back to that line, this weapon is your life. And he literally buries his life out in the middle of the desert and takes on a new persona of Ben. Vader, same, it takes, I don't know. It's just really interesting to see these small little pieces and really sort of getting up on a macro lens to sort of focus in on these characters. I think it's really good. It's so great to see Ben starting to flex those old Jedi skills. Yeah, it was really cool. Like, again, another thing that he's doing in this series, which has connotations coming to A New Hope, is that old line is from A New Hope. The only Imperial stormtroopers are so precise. And here we see him in a hallway deflecting, laser blasts left, right, and center from these stormtroopers that are actually aiming pretty well. Granted, there was that one right at the end that was literally just shooting his lightsaber, but if he didn't have it ignited, they would have gunned him down pretty quickly. So it's kind of cool to sort of see when you get to A New Hope, and everyone sort of talked about for years, like, he says the stormtroopers are so precise. But it's like, they can't shoot a side of a barn door. And then you can make the argument that's like, okay, so he's seeing them as clones, but now we're actually seeing Imperial stormtroopers shooting accurately at him. So I kind of like that. I kind of like that idea. Just these little tidbits that are sort of coming together to paint that sort of broader picture, which is cool. No sooner have I decided against more retro collection figures thanks to the price hike than I see pictures of the new style Vader figure. Yeah, I think I'm done with retro. I can't do retro. Like, they're literally going to do a line of retro for every property now, and I'm just like, nah, I'm done. I'm done. I might cherry pick a couple, like I do want to get Boba Fett and Ahsoka from the new wave of Mando, but I don't know. I don't think I need them. I really don't think I need them. Boba Fett definitely, but I don't think I need any others. But yeah, some of them are cool. They do look cool, but I think honestly, with Black Series and regular vintage collection, I don't know if I need the retro stuff anymore. Like, it's just too much. And, you know, they're up to like $20-25 each here. So yeah, I'm going to have to back down on the retros, definitely. It was a great episode. People online are still bashing on the Kenobi since episode 3 and now P4. People should realize that fantasy show, not real life, too much unrealistic expectations. I agree 100%. You've hit the nail on the head there, my friend. They're wanting a big, sprawling epic in a TV show where we can really sort of get down to the nitty gritty. Like, that's the whole point of doing a TV series. Otherwise, they would have just done a movie. And they could have. I'm sure at some point they were considering a movie, an Obi-Wan Kenobi solo film. But the series allows you to spend, 3 to 4 hours over a 6-episode span, really sort of just getting into the character and just digging in, which I like. Like, you don't need the epic backdrop of a volcano exploding and all this sort of set pieces and action to make a good story. And people are sort of getting that confused with, I don't know if they're getting confused, but I don't know. I see all the complaints are just, it's bad writing, it's bad acting. And is it though? Is it? Like I stated last week, I think, people complaining about it, and they're just shifting the blame on the actors, on the writers, because they're not finding the excitement. They're not digging that extra little bit to pick out the nitty gritty, which is something, most of us actually do. You sort of take these finer little details that they're really zooming in on. Oh, we've spoken about a couple already tonight. And yeah, really sort of honing in on those smaller points. And people are just sort of seeing, it wasn't much action in it and yada, yada, yada. It was just focus on the story, and it's not necessarily about the backdrops and the sets and all the action. Things like Obi-Wan versus Vader, like that was an incredible fight for what it was symbolizing. Like, Vader is literally, out for complete revenge on Obi-Wan. Like, he's dragging him through the fire, and Obi-Wan is just this defeated man that has not fought in 10 years. Like, he's literally left that behind him to survive, and he's forced to take up arms against this absolute monster. So yeah, I thought it was really good for what it was. It continues here. His character is progressing as he should. It's been 10 years since he cut himself off from all the Jedi training and the Force, and the way he's getting back his muscle memory is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, definitely. His stats, definitely sort of consider that idea before, as using a Force is like a muscle. Like, you don't do it, sort of atrophies. You don't go to the gym and you skip leg day every week. Your legs are going to get sort of a little bit weaker. It's the same thing, relying on that to sort of come back. And, he's sort of showing him now in this episode, like, just, testing the waters again. And he has an opportunity to flex those muscles that he's regaining by distracting the stormtroopers, by holding the glass window pane in, and things like that. Just little things like that are really forcing him to reuse these old muscles and just remember how strong he is. Vader is the only one. Yeah, Vader's cool. I actually like the cape that sort of drapes around the front, as opposed to the old vinyl plastic thing. Hey, Darth Rox here. Hope you're doing well, Mick. Good to see you. Hope things are going well. think there's more intimate stories with the Kenobi show are better served by the TV format. Yes, there are limitations, but I really love spending more time with interesting characters. I'm with you there. I think what Mandalorian has done is fantastic because we've got new characters, new things to learn. There's no baggage, I find that's where a lot of fans get their sort of hang-ups is they can't let go of the baggage they're bringing into it. And, just remember that this is just a fantasy, space fantasy. It's just fun. It's good. Like, it's not. Yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of complaint about the airspeeders at the end and how they were able to just stop. And I don't know. It was weird. And it's just, I don't know. There's this whole internet thing about, the instant reactions, and you've literally got to go and go, blah, blah. This is exactly what I'm thinking right now without really sort of soaking it in and, just thinking about it, talking about it and having a good discussion, which is exactly what we're doing here tonight. But yes, I did just rewatch the episode like an hour ago. So it's still pretty fresh on my mind and have spent a good couple of days at work talking about it. So very much looking forward to next week, honestly. Like, we're really going to start picking up again, I think. Not that it's ever dipped off. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It was cool to see the Inquisitor Fortress again, like after Jedi Fallen Order. What that means is, Jedi Fallen Order is set 5 years before Kenobi. So, Cal Kestis has already come in and trashed the place. Vader's tried hunting him. He escapes. And they didn't reinforce the glass when they rebuilt it. So that's what we've worked out, is that the Empire's just like, nah, just fix it the way it was. It's probably covered by insurance. Insurance companies aren't going to pay for extra stability. The Empire's not going to fork out the extra money to re-strengthen the glass panels. So I don't know, but it was really cool to see that in live action. And the tombs, we're calling them tombs. I think we've got more to play here with, we've sort of seen a little bit in Mandalorian in the Imperial base on Navarro, some sort of cloning tanks. So a little bit in Bad Batch with the sort of a little bit of sort of cloney looking stuff with the Kaminoans and all that. How are we getting these sort of Force users? They're not dressed in Jedi outfits, but a lot of people, like, there'd be Jedi on the run. Obi-Wan, wasn't wearing a Jedi outfit, whereas these people were pretty casually dressed. And my gut sort of dropped a little bit when they zoomed in on Terra Sinube from Clone Wars. Lightsaber Lost, great episode. Go watch that one again for a little bit of Terra Sinube. So yeah, that was a bit of a sad thing, but I think honestly it's like the Empire sort of freezing them so they can, access their DNA and, start working on experiments for cloning for Palpatine. I think the whole Palpatine contingency of cloning himself is, in universe, is something he put into play after his attack from Mace Windu, or his deflection from Mace Windu that left him scarred and ugly. Honestly think that from that moment is when he's gone, okay, there is a risk here and I need to make sure I've got a contingency set up. So that's once the Empire was formed, he really put those resources into trying to find ways to clone himself. It says, again, it was great to see Vader being a badass and storming into the Inquisitors. Absolutely pissed off that Kenobi and Leia got away and just about choked the life out of River. I feel like he should have, we've spoken about this with a couple of people, he should have just dropped her rather than like set her down nice and carefully. But yeah, the way the sort of camera sort of came in with him, like camera was sort of like shaking as he was walking. And it was like really sort of, it felt quick, like the way he sort of just stormed into the room and just, whew, like that was really, really cool. Empire doesn't spend money on safety rails. They don't have OH&S. Exactly right. Everyone's dispensable. Everyone is dispensable. Excuse me, I am tired tonight. I'm really, really tired tonight. One day left to work and then 3 days off, so I'm hanging to get through tomorrow. But yeah, I'm just so pumped up about Obi-Wan at the moment. It's just so good. It's just so good. I'm just really, really enjoying this story. It's sort of, and building on the existing sort of canon of like the Inquisitorius, the Sanctum Sanctorum, Inquisitorium, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, no, it's good times. It's good time to be a Star Wars fan, I think. And I'm glad this isn't a story that got like delegated to comics. Sort of hearing some of what I've sort of strayed away from the comics for probably the last 12 months. I've fallen a little bit behind, and I just haven't really had the desire to catch up up until they sort of passed Empire Strikes Back. I followed it pretty strongly up until they decided to end that sort of between New Hope Empire era and started from post Empire into Jedi. So I didn't really follow into that too much. But from what I'm hearing, it's gotten just a little bit out of control in the comics. So I'm not necessarily holding them to the same canonical standards as like the animated series and, these shows. Like I'd rather see, an animated series rather than what some of the stuff they're doing in the comics. It was always a little bit iffy. And I think with the comics, you can really just sort of pick and choose what you like and don't like. And, from what I've seen, I'm not sure if it's how it is, but it's like Padme's handmaiden is now like hanging out with Vader. It's like, this is weird. And like Kira has come into it with Crimson Dawn, and it's like, did that really happen though? It wasn't long. Like I feel like Boba Fett got a hold of Hani Carbonite and he just took him straight to Jabba's palace and he got there. But it seems like the Carbonite block did this whole little adventure on its own. Any predictions for next episode? I don't think the tracker is going to be a big threat. I think by the time the Empire tracks them, I think Leia will be back on Alderaan, and they'll be able to sort of just, I don't know, I'm not sure yet. It's part of me that like wants to have a crack at it and predict what's going to happen. The other part of me is like, I just want to watch it and let it happen, because it's good to go in without expectations, and I love doing that. And we all know that Leia's going to be okay. We all know that Ben's going to be okay. We all know that Bail and Brea Organa, they're going to be okay, at least for the moment. I know in the books, Leia of Alderaan, I think it was, Brea ends up coming down with some terrible sickness and doesn't make it. But yeah, I'm kind of just happy to let it go for now, to be honest with you, Ed. My initial thought is by the time the Empire track them, they will have dropped Leia back off in Alderaan. She'll have that diplomatic immunity with Bail and the senators and the Queen and stuff like that. So there won't be any sort of problems there. It'll sort of just sweep it under the rug. Hopefully Bail can put up a good front, despite being involved with the Rebel Alliance. It seems like he's pretty much, got that sort of covered at the moment and is able to stay sort of underground. So I dare say that may sort of hold the Empire back there on Alderaan. And then Obi-Wan, I don't know. I feel like Obi-Wan's going to have to go track down Vader and go for a rematch. I think I'm interested. I'm really interested. Like they've got a lot to cover in the last 2 episodes. I feel. Jake, what's going on, dude? I'm doing well. Doing very, very well. Hope you are too. Did anyone realize until now the Inquisitors actually haven't done much, only Reva chopping off a farmer's hand? Yeah, no, that's defecting blaster bolts. Yeah, no, she's the only one that's really done anything. And I know that's, to a point, it's by design because they're sort of really focusing on her as the sort of the nemesis here. She's the sort of, she is like Darth Vader, whereas Darth Vader is like the Emperor in this show. And that's sort of how it feels, you know. Vader's not quite at that point to set up for, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm trying to say, but it makes sense in my head. I'm glad you agree there, Jeff. Yeah, like I said, I haven't read much. What I have, it's kind of been like, I don't know if I believe that's how it happened. You know, it's a little bit give or take. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. What do you think of the Bad Batch's new paint job? I think it's cool, man. I think it's cool. You know, Hasbro's rubbing their hands together because they know it can put out some dodgy repaints and think it's all gonna be okay. But yeah, I don't know if I need to get the Bad Batch again. I kind of like the figures that I've got now. I'm really happy with them. I like they're sort of getting a little bit of the orange on there. I think the orange on the armor looks cool. Like a little bit of Rebels about them. We'll see. I'm very interested. Like, you know, obviously it's been some time has passed, maybe a year or two. Yeah, Omega's got a helmet now, which is cool. Really like that look. I think that's awesome. That'll be one figure I pick up if they do an Omega. Like, one thing I don't like about the Black Series Omega figure we just got is she has that sort of pendant thing on her head. Like, I'd rather just the messy hair. Good man, just been flat out working at Savers. Nice work, man. Good on you. So I did not expect to be the bloody snow speeders. Yeah, that was cool. You not get adapted for the cold. Straight out of Coruscant, what's going on? Just a quick collect some at work. Oh, I hope your day goes speedy, sir. Gary, what's going on? Warmish, but not hot take. Like this show, don't love it. I mean, it's solid, but it really hasn't blown me away. I understand that. You know, it's not the sort of action-packed, high-adventure stuff that like Mandalorian is. The Mandalorian's a little bit more, you know, big time fun adventure, run around, do all this sort of stuff. This, you know, this is really just sort of focusing in on character. I talked about it before. You know, it's really just hitting Kenobi and Vader and stuff with a macro lens, and really just sort of going in nice and tight with the characters, and not necessarily a big sort of full-on party time adventure sort of thing. Hey, Rolando's here. What's going on? Hope you're well. Thank you for tuning in, sir. What was a bit at the start with Vader and Obi-Wan in the back there? They're both reliving the duel or what? Good question. I feel like there's probably are some mental demons going on there. Like, I feel like that's what they're all sort of dealing with is, you know, these mental demons, these post-traumatic, you know, horrible things have happened to them both, you know, whether they feel guilt or anger and pain and suffering and all this sort of stuff. And, you know, Obi-Wan's feeling probably a lot of guilt and remorse and stuff like that. And Vader's just pure anger. But I sort of, the way they sort of shot that back and forth, it's almost like, can they sense each other? You know, is there something going on here where they both sort of understand, not understand, but sense each other in the Force, almost a dyad type thing like they did with Rey and Kylo. And as they're both sort of, you know, Obi-Wan is able to reach out now. He's opened himself back up to the Force. So he can feel Vader's pain and anger, and he's sort of traumatized by that. And then, yeah, like Vader himself, like just, you know, pure hatred and aggression. Just after midday here and I haven't even showered. Take it easy and have a good day, mate. Thank you for coming and hanging out. But yeah, you know, it's just a short episode this week. It was kind of nice to just get a quick episode. So I would have loved, like, you know, another 40, 50-minute thing. I think that would have been awesome. But yeah, we just got to be grateful for what we're given there with what we're getting every week. And yeah, bring on next week. That's what I say. Yeah, I will wrap it up shortly. I am, like I said at the start, I'm really sort of beat down tonight, so I'm looking forward to jumping into bed for a bit of an earlier night. It's only 8:30, but yeah, definitely looking forward to hitting the hay and getting some snooze. So yeah, looking forward to hitting up the live chat next week and chatting about episode 5. Calm before the storm. Exactly, Jeff. Exactly, man. Yeah, it's going to be. I feel like things are going to get bigger. My other prediction is, yeah, we will hear from Qui-Gon Jinn. So that's my prediction. I'll finish off that coffee. But yeah, thank you all for coming and hanging out tonight. There's a bit of a cold one this evening, so yeah, I do appreciate you all coming and hanging out. I hope you've had a great week. Appreciate all your comments and stuff tonight. So one question here. Any scores that make a toy fair? Zip, dude. I got absolutely nothing. Money's not my friend at the moment. Mainly because I don't have any of it. But no, I was sort of I was good. I was a good boy. I didn't buy anything. There was a lot I could have bought. If I was in a better place financially, I would have been able to drop a lot, because there was, like I said earlier to other people that have been here, there was a lot of folks from interstate. There was some great price figures that I really wanted to pick up. Just couldn't make it happen this time. So hopefully those same sellers will be back with the same figures, because you know, some great ones that I just sort of missed over the years. There was a Gungan warrior from Legacy Collection. There was the Palpatine on his little walkie chair, the Palpatine hologram on his walkie chair from Legacy Collection. Just never got them back in the day, and they were sitting there for like $15 each. I'm like, I would have grabbed them, but nice. That's cool, man. There was so much cool stuff there, dude. Like, there was really cool stuff there this time. So yeah, looking forward to the next one. Hopefully in a better spot. So that being said, I so many freaking toy cars. Yeah, that's the old toy fair that's always there. So always appreciate the Star Wars talk therapy, especially seeing as no one in my household wants or cares about Star Wars. So thanks again, all. No, I'm kind of. I am very lucky with who I get to speak to about Star Wars all the time. But yeah, have been in that situation in the past where it's like no one cares. They're just like, no, it's just a show. It's not a show. It's a way of life. Star Wars is a way of life. But thank you all for coming and hanging out tonight, guys. I know it was sort of weird and dark, and I'm dressed in black, and it's just my head just hanging out in the middle of the air. There you go. It's sort of adjusting now. Thanks. All right, folks. We'll see you next week. Stay tuned, because there's some more videos coming out in the week. And yeah, we'll see you all then. Till then, may the Force be with you always.